The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Hockey New Zealand in association with Sentinel Homes, Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Sky Sport, your home for hockey, and Sport New Zealand. The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League, live.
Well, hello and welcome again to the Gallagher Hockey Centre for hockey action in the 2020 Sentinel Homes Premier League. We have match day 3 on us for the men, and the first game of 2 today is the Northern Tridents against the Southern Alpiners. The Alpiners come into this having drawn one of their 2 matches and having lost their other, and the Tridents come in with 2 losses behind them. So this game is critical for both teams if they want to move up the table and try and stay with the top 2 teams as we head towards finals in 2 weeks' time. Yes, hello everybody. Glenn Lamas, my name. We've got Lincoln Churchill alongside me, and we've got great conditions again, Lincoln, for the hockey today. No lovely sunny day, but strong westerly breeze blowing again here in Hamilton, and a lot for play for, as I touched on with these 2 teams.
Yep, perfect conditions for hockey. Couldn't ask for better. Hamilton, well known for its fantastic weather, turning it on again. Certainly a lot to play for, so really the Tridents are backs up against the wall here. If they don't get a result today, then they can pretty much kiss goodbye any hope of making their way into the final match.
All right, here is the Tridents lineup for this game today, and let's have a look at their team. They have 4 black sticks playing. Xavier Guy, number 7, is back in the lineup today. No George Muir, the captain, he's out injured. And note number 12, Max Rasmussen. He was actually playing for the Alpiners yesterday, but he's been switched into the Tridents because of injury concerns in the Tridents lineup at the moment. Rasmussen won't be too disheartened by that. He actually is a counties lad originally, so playing for the Northern team. And here is the Southern Alpiners, 11 black sticks playing today. Back in today is Nick Elder, number 6. Also Jordan Ward is back in, number 15, and Malachi Bushell, number 16, back in today. Yorston and Jackson miss out today, number 20 and 21. And the team is to be captained by Nick Ross once again. So the Alpiners coming into this clash, having lost to the Falcons 2-1 in round 1. Drew with the Mavericks in round 2, although they did lose the penalty shootout. And the Tridents having a 2-0 loss to the Mavericks and losing to the Falcons by 3-1. So never easy when your team's got some injury issues. It's the last thing you want to deal with, Lincoln, when you're not, when you haven't won matches well. It's sometimes it all kind of compounds together, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, yeah. I mean, yesterday they ended up down to I think they only had about 13 or 14 soldiers by the end of yesterday's game. I actually threw my gear in the car today because I thought maybe they might need me, but as it is, they've gone into the transfer. They've gone into the transfer market and picked up Max Rasmussen.
Yes, no witnesses. I don't know if a brown paper bag was hovering around with something inside it for the Alpiners.
Well, I think it was rumoured to be a couple of bags of natural confectionery snakes, which I think will make an appearance at half-time. I think that's what the transfer fee was.
Well, that's good to see. But no, it's good to see Max Rasmussen out there, and it's all about getting these players out there playing. Here are the umpires for the clash today: Bevan Nicol and Lee Erskine. Yeah, let's have a look at this clash today. So at the end of this match, both teams will have completed their first round of what is a double round robin format before we have the finals Sunday fortnight. And let's have a look at the Tridents, their keepers today: Angus Griffin and Ruan Bazaden. Note once again, Richmond Lum, Charles Ulrich, Nitesh Suka, Robbie Capizzi, who was on the score sheet yesterday. Robbie Capizzi scored the Tridents' first goal. Xavier Guy back in the team today, the New Zealand Under-21 Player of the Year. Sam Houston and Mitch Haid. 8 and 9. Isaac Holbrook, A 19-year-old is wearing 11. Liam Mortimer, 13. Sanjay Lala, who's been solid at the back, wearing 14. Here he comes on to the field now, Sanjay Lala. In George Muir's absence, Steve Edwards is going to captain the team today. He's wearing 17, most experienced player in there. Connor Greentree, an exciting young prospect from the North Harbour region, wearing 18. Kim Kingston, his responsibility today will be improved. He played 19 times for New Zealand. Kieran O'Connor, Matthew Simons out there as well. Simons, a 3-time NHL winner and a former pro in the UK. So that is the Tridents lineup. Let's have a look at the Alpiners. In all, 11 Black Sticks playing in this team today, including number 2, George Ennison, the 61 capped keeper. Joseph Morrison coming on, who's been an exciting player, only 19 years of age. George Connell, Hugo Ingles, Nick Elder, Kane Russell, all experienced international players. In fact, Ingles wearing 5 is the 9th most capped player in New Zealand history. Nick Lidstone back in. Nick Ross captaining the team today, 130 games for New Zealand. Dominic Newman up front for the Alpiners. Gus Wakeling, Finn Ward scored a goal yesterday in that draw with the Mavericks. Dylan Thomas playing once again. Jordan Ward, so touched on back in today. Malachi Bushell, Sam Lane, 65 games for New Zealand. He's wearing 17. David Bryden and Blair Tarrant. Coach of the Alpiners is Grant Edwards. Coach of the Tridents is Bryce Collins. And we'll be back for the start of this contest right after this here on Sky Sport Next.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
How about that? Shake, rattle, and roll.
Here we go, folks. It's the Tridents against the Alpiners in the Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League. Alpiners in the red. And they're going to be playing towards the southern end of Gallagher Hockey Stadium. Here in Hamilton, Kane Russell on the ball. Alpiners have been unlucky, haven't they, Lincoln?
Yeah, they have been. And I can imagine that one of the key instructions Grant Edwards may be giving them is that you need to play until the final whistle goes, because yeah, had it not been for about 1 minute of hockey, they could find themselves a lot further up the points table here.
Absolutely. They've conceded goals in the last 2 seconds of both of their games First one on Thursday ended up being a loss for them, 2-1. And then yesterday in round 2, the goal they conceded ended up tying the game with the Mavericks. And then, of course, they lost the penalty shootout. So 4 points just vanished on the points table for them.
Yeah, that certainly hurts when it happens.
But they have some very experienced players, Lincoln. The other point, of course, this is the third game in 4 days for all of these players. Based on what you've experienced as a player, how battle-weary are these guys out there today, you reckon?
Well, it'll certainly be a bit tougher. The legs will start feeling like lead as we get towards the second half of these games, particularly if the pace of the game is high. So it'll be interesting to see if teams just try and control the ball a little bit more, play a little more patiently to help preserve their legs. It was something that the Central Falcons coach Mike Delaney was talking a lot about with his team, about wanting them to hold the ball more often for bigger periods of time. So I'm sure that's something all the teams will be looking to try to do today to help preserve their legs.
Well, the Falcons will touch on them, but they've come here with a slightly smaller squad than the Alpiners and the Mavericks. The Mavericks, Alpiners are able to rotate their players in and out of the team a bit more than the Falcons. But in the meantime, we're having a look at Lala here, but he hasn't timed that aerial shot particularly well. But in the end, Capisi has managed to pick that up. It's a nice scramble over there by Haid.
Yeah, it was quite a good little blindside press by Hugo Ingles. As we mentioned yesterday, he's as good as he is on the ball. He's also very, very good at nicking the ball defensively, and he nearly got one there, just coming in from the blind side of Mitch Haid, but Mitch Haid doing well.
Here's Russell. They've got the turnover. Ross holds it back for Russell. Into the circle it goes, and it wasn't controlled by Sam Lane, but early signs are looking good for the Alpiners.
Yeah, good counter. Good lead by Lane. Great pass by Kane Russell, and Lane just ain't able to connect, and that's landed on the head of Angus Wakeling.
Yeah, knocked some sense into him. Here comes the Tridents through Guy, who sat out yesterday's game. Edwards, he's captaining the team. Remember, George Muir, North Harbour player, and played well over 100 games in New Zealand, not playing in this contest today. He's got a hamstring injury. So fingers crossed we'll see him back for the next round coming up Wednesday week. Here's Lala. Well, the target was Guy, but in the end it's going to be Alpiners' ball as they come out of their defensive end again.
Yeah, fairly sedate start to this match. Both teams just sounding each other out.
Ross. Here's Tarrant. Nice direct pass up to Dominic Newman. He's got Russell on his right. That's a great pass. Reverse stick shot came in there from Lidstone. And there's no penalty corner. Oh, in fact, it is going to be called eventually. I think the umpire over that far side was obscured and couldn't really tell whether it hit the legs, but the umpire in front of us here, Lincoln, was in no doubt it was a penalty corner.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one. I've actually never seen that happen before. Usually, if the other umpire doesn't notice that his colleague is signalling to him, although it could be, are they radioed up, the umpires?
I'm not sure.
They usually
are. It looks like they might be.
Maybe there was some kind of technical issue. He couldn't communicate to him that he'd seen the foot.
Oh, well, the Alpiners were absolutely certain, appealing for the penalty corner. So better late than never. They have the first penalty corner of the game, and it's come early, inside the first 5 minutes.
Again, a pretty good pass by Kane Russell there to find Josh Morrison. I think it was it Nick Lidstone, top of the circle?
Yeah, it was Lidstone. He's just hovering off to the edge here. So, Newman to deliver it, and it's going to be Russell used as a decoy, and it's Tarrant. In fact, it's Lane who fires it in. And that one was a tracer bullet. That's how to put them into the back of the net. 1-0.
Yeah, good flick by Sam Lane. I mean, he's a very good flicker, Sam Lane. It's just that when you play alongside Kane Russell, you don't tend to see as many of the opportunities go your way. But obviously, Russell's been unable to find the back of the net so far in the tournament.
Well, that was executed to perfection, wasn't it? That just had everyone on their toes, thinking Russell was going to get the ball.
Yeah, not a bad call by Grant Edwards there, assuming he's made the decision on the first corner there to decide to give it to Lane, because as you say, I think certainly the Tridents would have been loading up to expect it to be going to Kane Russell.
Now, getting the ball for the Tridents is Suka. So let's have a look at it again. And Lane, you can't get it much more powerful than that, can you? I wouldn't have thought so.
Certainly bet him for pace. It was sort of, it was, you know, probably in some ways, Griffin in goal there may look at that and think, well, I could have got something on that.
Here come the Tridents bursting down the left. Plenty of pace into the circle. Oh, not far away either from getting that one on target.
There's Kim Kingston with the turn and shot there.
Nice attack down the left, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good break from the Tridents. That'll give them some encouragement, because it's you know, it took them a long time to register their first goal in this competition yesterday with
yeah, it was Robbie Capizzi.
With Robbie Capizzi scoring in the fourth quarter yesterday. And quite simply, they just haven't had enough circle penetrations.
This is Thomas for the Alpiners. Kept in the field of play really well by Morrison. Another penalty corner. You just got to stick with it when you've got possession in the circle. And Morrison did a great job to keep that one going.
He did well. It's, the Alpiners looking to break the backs of the Tridents early in the game here. Like if they can bang this in, could be a very, very long way back for the Tridents. Josh Ward on the injection. So Dominic Newman injecting the first one. He got enough pace on it. It was one of the problems the Alpiners have had, is not enough speed in their injection. So we'll see if this can come out fast enough.
Well, I don't think Newman's on the field at the moment. So Russell, oh dear.
It hasn't come out fast enough, has it?
No. It's Thomas. I think you were very astute with your observation there, Lincoln. Now, can the Tridents?
Well,
the Alpiners try and appeal, but
they pay me the big bucks.
That's exactly right. Here come the Tridents again. Well, bit of luck for them as Edwards. Greentree. And there's nothing the Alpiners could do about it either, except it was just watching it in slow motion.
Yeah.
Dribble out there. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I mean, those can be quite embarrassing. So the worst one is when the injector only drags it about 5 or 10 centimetres or half a foot in front of themselves, and the way the rules are, they're not actually allowed to touch the ball again, so they just end up standing there like they've got no hockey stick while everyone else tries to run in and get the ball.
It's just agony, isn't it?
I'm not actually sure why. It's a bizarre, because they've introduced the auto pass rule a few years back, which in any other situation in the game you can just take a free hit to yourself, but for some reason on a penalty corner they've decided not to have that rule.
Tried it through Haid. And not able to catch up with that one was Houston. So the Alpiners have looked very good with the ball in their possession so far in this game. Get the ball here through Ross. Greentree robs him of it though. Play on is the call, and Houston has it.
Yeah, good steal by Connor Greentree there. It's not easy to take the ball off Nick Ross, and he did it pretty well.
Ross back there to try and salvage the situation, but turnover as his pass to Bushel. It's too strong, and Guy has it. Now Lala. Suka over the far side. He hasn't been able to keep it in the field of play.
That was a very Gumby moment for Natish Suka there. He misdribbled the ball twice in a row.
Ross. The Alpiners leading by 1-0. Lane scoring from a penalty corner. And that hasn't been kept in the field of play by David Bryden. So the Alpiners turn it over to the Tridents. And straight away, Guy gets things going again. And Greentree brings this down nicely. Ross has done well. So too has Bushell.
Yeah, good tackle by Bushell there.
Here come the Alpiners again. And now, this is a good little surge down the left by Nick Elder. And now Ingles scored a sensational solo goal yesterday. Ross. That's reflected or deflected off a Trident stick.
Yeah, a very good game yesterday. Hugo Ingles set up the first goal with an assist and a fantastic individual goal.
Now Max Rasmussen is on the field now for Tridents. He's wearing 12 and he was an Alpiners player yesterday. So an unusual situation, but he switched teams because of injury concerns in the Tridents.
It's a bit like Moneyball, isn't it? Yeah. Traded before hit off to the other team.
Now, Connell comes forward. Into the circle comes the Alpiners. And it's another penalty corner, the third of the first quarter.
Yeah, that'll be a concern for the Tridents, the way the ease with which they're giving away penalty corners at the moment. So 3 corners. And what are we, only just over 10 minutes into the match.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got Kane Russell and Sam Lane standing at the top. So Dominic Newman back on the pitch here.
Well, he delivered a gem of a delivery. So Russell and Lane again hovering. Tarrant and Ross got the trapping responsibilities. And here comes Kane Russell this time. And it's saved superbly by Griffin. What a cracking stop that was. Just clipped the top of his glove.
Yeah, great save. I mean, it had some. This, believe me, this had some heat on it. And he did well. I mean, it was basically straight at him, but still did very well to deflect the ball over the goal. So would have been easy just to have that one be patted straight back down into the circle. And
well, the Alpiners trying to keep the pressure on. Now Ross, that's a great little pass, isn't it, to Tarrant.
Yeah, excellent skill by Nick Ross.
And now here come the Alpiners in front of goal. And the Tridents did really well to clear it. Greentree already, we can see 5 players are back in their own half of the Alpiners. They got back very quickly. And a 6th, Kane Russell, has intercepted the ball. And a great pass to Lane. On the edge of the circle is Sam Lane. Good tackle from Lala.
Yeah, it was a fantastic little phase of play by the Alpiners before. You saw Ross, Tarrant and Ingles all combining together. 3 Otago boys, high school players.
Yeah, and they're all very good players. This Tarrant gives it to Bryden.
Played in a few other teams together as well.
That one couldn't be stopped by Ingles. So, thinking back through these first 13 minutes, well, maybe the Alpiners should be ahead by more, given the opportunities that they've created for themselves. But fair play to the Tridents. They've defended pretty well so far. Now Rasmussen. Suka. Rasmussen once more. Lane trying to dispossess him, and he's given up the free hit, Sam Lane.
He's got himself a slight tactical advantage here, Max Rasmussen.
He'll
know exactly what the Alpiners have been working on trying to do.
It's Simons with a pass, and now there's some space for the Tridents. There's a shot, and it's right into the body of George Ennison.
Yeah, well, good skill by Richmond Lump. Great little elimination on the edge of the circle.
Looking for the penalty corner in the very least. No whistle. And no risks by the Alpiners defence. In fact, it's deflected off on the Trident's stick. It's a little unlucky, isn't it? And now the Alpiners come down and Ingles is going to whack it.
Yeah, played a bit of cricket, Hugo Ingles. His actually his sister is a very good cricketer, and he's just got on the front foot there and attempted to
smash it through mid-wicket.
Smash it, yeah, exactly. Clear the front hip.
And he certainly did a good job of it, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think that was down to the boundary for four, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not as effective as a hockey pass, so that's the problem. Here he is again on the ball.
And here he is controlling it beautifully into the circle. There's space here for Ingles. It's only a smidgen wide, and Lane was there as well, diving to tap it in. But look at Ingles here.
Sam Lane should have scored this. He should have scored this. He committed too late to it. So, which maybe because of the previous play where Hugo smacked it over cow corner, he was a little bit nervous that he might go for the shot. But when he realised it was coming along the ground to him, then he got low, but often that's too late. So the ball sailed under his stick.
So that will end the first quarter with Rasmussen just playing down the clock there. And it's been a dominant first quarter by the Alpiners, who have the lead by 1-0. Sam Lane getting the goal from a penalty corner. They've had a few other opportunities from penalty corners and a couple of really decent opportunities from the field as well, Lincoln. And I guess if you want to be brutally honest here, the Alpiners will probably be thinking they should be ahead by more.
Yeah, well, the game actually probably should be dead and buried. They've had 3 penalty corners, a couple of other very good chances, so they could easily be 3-0 up here. So at 1-0, the Tridents are still in it. And if there's one thing we have seen from the Tridents, despite the fact that they've lost their previous 2 matches, is they have rallied as the game's gone on. And you know, yesterday they got themselves into a position where they maybe could have snuck a draw.
Yes, indeed, and the Tridents got close, but of course they chose to take their goalkeeper off, didn't they, near the end of their loss yesterday, which you can understand them taking the risk, but it's very risky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a risk. It's also a harder thing to do when you haven't had a lot of time playing together. So if you're a well-oiled machine, then taking a keeper off, being in a good rhythm, controlling the ball well, then it's perhaps less risky. When you see teams like Germany or Belgium do it, it doesn't seem like such a risk because they just control the game completely. But a little bit tougher when you're still trying to find your feet a wee bit.
So 1-0 to score. Team in red leading at the end of the first 15-minute period. Don't forget, later on today at 2 o'clock, we've got the Mavericks against the Falcons. The Falcons on top of the table after 2 rounds, 2 wins. The Mavericks a win and a draw. Black Sticks all over the park in that game. So hopefully you can stay with us for that one, which starts at 2 o'clock. But now the Alpiners looking to increase the intensity again as they come forward through Lane. And now Russell into the circle. Great pass. But the whistle goes and it's Trident's ball.
Yeah, I mean, a really simple piece of play, but very effective. So Sam Lane with a good strong post up, and then Kane Russell just coming off his shoulder, a bit like a prop forward in a game of rugby league, just on the burst. Very hard to defend against. So
hasn't Russell's passing been on the money in this game so far?
It really has been. He's made a couple of very nice, incisive passes into the circle.
It's a nice touch from Edwards and Rasmussen. Lovely little 1-2, but the pass to Guy, just as something was looking promising there for the Tridents, it comes to nothing. Now Ingles. Ross. That's how to time a pass. Tarrant coming into the circle, reverse stick. Well, the keeper's out, Griffin. And it is going to be Trident's ball.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was an interesting, really nice little bit of play there, because you actually saw Hugo Ingles, the striker of the three of those players, dropping further back, and in the end it was Blair Tarrant from the back overlapping. Just know each other's games so well, those guys, and it's just good to see the fluidity and attack from them.
Rasmussen trying to find Simons, but couldn't catch up with that one. And Russell straight away thinks about attack. Newman. Nice touch from Ingles to Lane. Lane's got it. Oh, how good was that control? He was playing tennis almost there, bouncing the ball as he was about to serve it. Brilliant stuff from Sam Lane, 2-0.
Oh, fantastic skill from Lane.
Check this out here. Look at that. That is brilliant.
How has he done that? It was just fantastic skill. Fantastic skill.
Well, and the lead-up work was really good as well too, Lincoln, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you'd have to say a deserved 2-goal lead. The Alpiners.
Yeah, they're looking good as Capizzi. Oh, no, it's all communication problems there. And now the Alpiners. Lane up front here. He's going to get the ball. No, nicely intercepted.
He probably would have got it if Bryden had passed it a tiny bit earlier.
Yeah. Now Russell's in space. Danger signs again. The alarm bells. And there's a great pass into the circle again. Griffin has kept it out, as well as a couple of other Tridents players. So close to going 3-0 down.
Again, another outstanding pass from Kane Russell. He is just ripping this Tridents defence to pieces with his passing range at the moment.
Yeah, Russell, well, I don't know what he had for breakfast, but I think we need some of it, Lincoln.
Yeah, I could probably tell you what Kane Russell had for breakfast. I think he's a bit of a Weet-Bix man.
Yeah, I was just going to say it wouldn't be bacon and eggs on match day, would it? He's just playing really well. There's Russell dropping back a bit deeper in the field this time. Bryden. It's a nice angled pass and nicely kept in by Jordan Ward. Now that was Lidstone who's lost it.
It's a good story about Kane Russell when he went for his interview at Otago Boys High School with the principal when he was coming into year 9 or third form or whatever they used to call it. And the principal asked him what he wanted to be when he grew up, and he said he wanted to be an All Black. And the principal then said, well, what if that doesn't work out? And he said, oh, well, I'll be a black cap. And he said, what if that doesn't work out? Oh, well, I'll be a black stick. I don't think Kane was quite getting the point there, but anyway, but he is a black stick, so it worked out.
Yeah. Well, it's probably worth going back and reliving that conversation with the principal as the Tridents come forward, but it's been Tarrant who's coming away, and he hasn't heard the whistle, so they'll go back, but it will be Alpiners' ball. Alpiners keeping it going. It's been picked off by Haid, and he's lost it. Lidstone gives it to Elder, who's just come onto the field. Ingles with the ball. Look out, he could be very dangerous here. In the end, the Tridents had crowded the defence pretty well.
Yeah, the Tridents just getting suffocated here by the Alpiners, so the Alpiners are finding it very easy to breach the Tridents' press. And then the other problem the Tridents are having is when they do win the ball back, they're often turning it over straight away. So you see that double turnover it's very critical. Once you've made a turnover, it's quite important you don't turn the ball over straight away again. That's what the Alpiners have been able to do to the Tridents.
Capizzi, it's a free hit for his team. Guy goes aerial across the field. It's not controlled by Ulrich. Two to nil. Sam Lane getting both goals for the Alpiners. Remember, they haven't won a game in this Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League just yet. But they're on target in this one.
I tell you, if there's one thing Grant Edwards would love to have when we go into the final minute of this game, is to be up by more than one goal.
That's right. Yeah, they were so close to victory, just seconds away from a win yesterday against the Mavericks, but conceded a penalty corner in the last few seconds, which Nick Wood scored for the Mavericks. And now we've got a bit of a collision over there, and it's going to be Trident's ball. Lala.
Lack of communication from the Alpiners there.
Guy back to Haid.
Between Nick Elder and Kane Russell.
It's kept in well, very well by Connor Greentree. He's got good stick work, this lad. Into the circle, bit of a space. Here's a chance. It's still there for the Tridents. That was probably their best chance of the game. And just couldn't quite get a stick on it. Check out that pass. What a beauty it was from Ingles to Thomas. But Lala's got the ball for the Tridents. Good work from him.
See the Alpiners swarming to try and win the ball back. Like a pretty good tackle from Jordan Ward.
Didn't it?
Flat stick.
Whistle went though.
Bit of a noise, so...
Tridents. My fall here for Houston.
It's
gone in. Can you believe that? How did that go in? But Anderson couldn't keep it out. And I think Houston might have got the tiniest touch on it. And wow, that was a bit of a fortunate finish. But in the end, it doesn't matter how it goes in. It's if it goes in.
Yeah, real opportunist goal this from Sam Houston. So it's quite controlling the touch there. And just...
Under Anderson.
Yeah. Innocent will be disappointed with that. That's probably not the best piece of goalkeeping he's done in his illustrious career.
Well done to Sam Houston. He's got his team back in it.
Just probably caught Innocent out a little bit there, how quickly that came into the circle, because he actually, was right back on his goalpost there, and had he realised that danger a little bit earlier, he might have just come out a little bit more. That would have made life a lot tougher for Sam Houston to squeeze the ball past him from that angle.
Yeah, Houston, a 23-year-old from Auckland, plays for Somerville out east. And, well done to him getting the goal to get his team back into the contest. Timely too, with 6 to play until half-time. Nick Ross.
Sort of came from nowhere really, that goal.
Yeah, didn't it?
All Alpiners.
Thomas. This is George Connell. And he's got Elder on the left. Elder, the black stick player, coming up to the circle. And the Tridents are going to get the ball here. It's nicely pushed out to forward square leg for a single there by David Bryden. And now the Tridents have it again. Kingston across to Sukar. He couldn't get it past Finn Ward. And now Thomas. Oh, it's unlucky there for Simons. He thought he had it.
Yep. Played on for a little bit there, Simons, pretending he hadn't heard the whistle.
Oh, that old tactic, eh?
Yeah, I heard it up here, and he was a lot closer than me.
Ross gives it away to Finn Ward. Connell waiting support, but Finn Ward goes towards the circle where Thomas was lurking. And Lala has got it off Rasmussen.
Stayed nice and alert there, Rasmussen. Needed to be. They could be coming up towards us here. It's landed on the roof of the commentary box.
Trident's able to make some changes with Steve Edwards, the captain of the day, coming back onto the field. Lala and Rasmussen locking down the back at the moment for the Tridents. 3 goals so far in the first half with just over 4 to play. Sanjay Lala out to Edwards. Happy to just knock it around at the back at the moment, the Tridents. There's Rasmussen. The unusual situation, he played for the team in red yesterday. Now Suka puts the afterburners on, almost through there, but a nice composed stop.
He was well positioned there, Blair Tarrant.
Did really well, didn't he? But Edwards, but they're liking this build-up by the Tridents here. Oh, it's a lovely turn, and it's kept in the field of play, and it still will be Tridents' ball. Elder, the last player to touch it for the Alpiners.
Yeah, it's just making more of a match fit here now. The Tridents seem to be growing in confidence a little bit, stringing a few more things together.
Guy reverses it into the circle, but it's off the foot there of Bushell. This one right on the edge of the circle. Obviously can get quite crowded. Guy's going to try and go around them. Support over there, and unfortunately, yeah, it all went a bit wrong there for Xavier Guy. Tried to take the scenic route. Didn't work out that time. Oh, lovely little steal there. I think that's Holbrook over there. Flicking it in to Houston, the goal scorer. But again, look at all the Alpiners back there, Lincoln. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 back there.
Good tackle by George Connell again. He's tackled very well throughout this league.
2.5 to play. Well, if the Tridents can pinch another, that'll be really game on, won't it? Simons and Lala, so they're just happy to, again, build. Nice and composed from the back, but that's easily cut out by Hugo Ingles. Ross is up the front, and there's a good pass to Newman. Newman reverses it, there's the cross, but no one on the end of it, and in fact the whistle had gone. This was lifted into the circle.
Yeah, again, a good interception by Hugo Ingles, and then launching the counter-attack.
90 seconds. There's a nice little move by O'Connor. Try and get him into the game a bit more. He's pretty handy with the ball at his stick. But that one didn't go to plan from Simons.
Good to see Kieran O'Connor playing well. He's looking a lot more skillful than I always remember him playing. Good control of the ball. Blindside press here by Holbrook.
Did well too to put a bit of pressure on. Inside the last minute of this first half. It's Terrence. Back to Bryden. Trying to put pressure on the far side of the field there for the Tridents. And it kind of worked because it just went straight out. Here comes Edwards, but he's lost it. 2 17s coming together. Lane winning the ball, and Ross has got it. Ingles, oh, it's almost sensational there to Russell. We ended up with the ball anyway. Here's O'Connor again. Time ticking away for the Tridents. 10 seconds. And Bryden's effort there on defence should probably be enough to see the clock wind down to half-time. And there goes the hooter.
Nice little bit of tempo to the end of that half. Hopefully, it's certainly made things closer on the scoreboard, which should make for a more intriguing second half, which is good to see.
Yes, certainly. And the Tridents came back nicely into that contest in the latter half of that second quarter. Half-time here in Hamilton, and it's the Alpiners leading by 2-1.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with the Ford Assured Future Value Finance offer. Simply pick your payment plan and at the end of the term choose if you want to keep your Ford Escape, return your Ford Escape or upgrade to a new Ford. Easy. Ford. Bring on tomorrow.
So, Egypt. Exciting.
It's been my lifelong dream to see the sunrise over the pyramids. Oh, it's silly, really.
Not at all. The room. It must be 502.
We need our parents to be more supportive
so we can go out there and have some fun.
We're on a mission to find some of our most famous sport parents.
To give our parents some helpful advice.
So do you think you'll be able to help us out?
Absolutely. When I played sport, it was all about having fun.
Talk about the effort they win and not about the fact that they won the game.
Try and encourage our kids to get involved in as many sports as possible.
We want to build kind, strong, resilient athletes.
They see and watch your behaviour all the time. They see everything.
Don't pressurise them and trying to make them improve too quickly.
Kids coming in with a lot of overtraining injuries.
They're not supposed to know how to have the winning mindset at the age of 12.
If they come off that field or come off that court with a smile on their face, then I'm a happy man.
We came up with 10 golden rules for being an awesome sport parent.
To check them out, go to besportive.kiwi.
Well, hello again and welcome back to the Gallagher Hockey Centre. It's half-time here between the Alpiners and the Tridents. And it's the Alpiners leading by 2-1. Sam Lane having scored both goals for the Alpiners, and then Sam Houston getting one back for the Tridents. Let's get some half-time reaction. Go down to Lincoln Churchill.
Yeah, Grant, you mentioned on Thursday that you were looking for your team to be a little bit more direct. Are you a bit happier with that first half?
Yeah, it started well in that sense. We got some good turnover ball in the midfield and then we're able to get into circle and created plenty of chances. But slipped off a little bit now. Haven't been able to control the ball quite as well.
Yeah, sure thing. Maybe a bit of a case of missed opportunities in that first half. Could be further ahead.
Yeah, we're hoping to do a little bit of a reset at the moment, get back to how we're playing in the first quarter and probably create some more opportunities in there, we would think.
Now tell me, if you find yourself up by one goal in the last little bit of the game, have you got a plan?
Oh yeah, keep hold of the ball, press out and stop easy passes into the circle.
All right, thanks, Grant. Good luck.
There we are, Grant Edwards from the Alpiners. And I'm sure they'll rectify that heading into the last quarter. But the Tridents have been plucky and have come back into this nicely. So lots of encouragement there for their coaching staff. Head coach today, of course, Bryce Collins once again, the Black Sticks men's assistant coach, who's just still getting his final instructions to his team. But there's been some very good effort so far from many of these players who have not dropped their heads. I mean, that's the good thing that we've seen in these teams, both in the men's and the women's contests. They have all been playing with a great attitude. All right, let's go back and get some reaction now from Lincoln, who has some Tridents reaction for us now.
Bryce, a little bit of a slow start there. We've been encouraged by the end of that first half of hockey.
Yeah, definitely. It was quite rushed, I thought, the first quarter by both teams, and we just had a few unforced errors which gave them some quite big chances. But as we worked into the second quarter, I felt we gained control of the game and started to follow our match plan and be a bit more considered with our ball possession.
Yeah, we look pretty set for a good second half of this match. You got a good plan for the boys?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just build on what we did in the back half of that second quarter, make sure we've got our share of the ball, and we're just onto it on transition, because they've got some guys that can hurt us, but we're onto it. We take that threat away, and with a share of the ball, we'll create our own opportunities.
Yeah, well, all the best. Hope you get some points today.
There we are, Bryce Collins, the coach of the Northern Tridents. CCL stats time. So 2-1. Shots on goals. We touched on more opportunities for the Alpiners in that first half, and lots more penalty corners. In fact, the Tridents haven't had one yet, and circle entries a healthy 17 in the first half for the Southern Alpiners. So Sam Lane with 2 goals, and here they are. First one from the penalty corner. Number 17 he is. He absolutely buried that one. What a wonderful drag flick from Sam Lane, and he can't execute it better than that. And then this was clever from Lane. That's how to finish, and there was some great lead-up work too. And then Sam Houston absolutely pinched one under the legs there of George Ennison, the Black Sticks keeper, and Sam Houston, the young Aucklander, going over to score his team's first goal of the game and second of the league so far. Second game coming up this afternoon is at 2 o'clock, and it will feature the Falcons, who are 2 from 2 so far in this contest, against the Hauraki Mavericks, who are winners in their first game and a draw in their second game, but they have 2 competition points after winning the penalty shootout against the Alpiners yesterday. So that is going to be a terrific clash. We have 10 Black Sticks playing for the Mavericks and 9 in the Falcons lineup. So that is how it is in this game at 2 o'clock. It should be a really good contest, and looking forward to seeing that one. So we're almost set for a second half now in this game here. The Alpiners, remember, are on 1 competition point after their draw with the Mavericks yesterday. The Tridents yet to open their account, and this outcome here hugely critical to both teams' chances of keeping alive their hopes of making the grand final here in 2 weeks. In this double round robin format for the Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League for 2020. So it's going to be the Tridents to get things underway. They're in the light blue and the dark blue shorts. 14 competition, of course.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Glenn, the team that loses this, as you mentioned, the team that loses this game has got a lot of work to do. So,
well, it's still mathematically possible if they make the final, but they would have to win probably their last 3 on the trot. So
it should be very hard
tough
to do.
A
little bit of a collision down here.
Yeah, Nick Ross just slowly back to his feet. So we'll get a good guide of where we are after the completion of the first round robin later today with all 4 teams. And then the men get a week off, and we're back focusing on the women's competition, which will resume here on Wednesday. Looking forward to seeing that. The Tridents in the Women's League are leading after the first round with 10 competition points. So the chase is on to see if they can be run down. Now let's have a look at the Tridents men's team, who would love to find some form like their women. Scapese keeps the ball for his team.
Yeah, I half wonder whether they might try and draft Stacey Mickelson in to play for them.
Well, exactly.
She wouldn't be out of place at all on the side.
Yes, what a star she is still. Yeah.
Opening games for the Tridents women's team.
Well, she didn't actually play the last 2, and they still played very well without her. Yeah.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, but she was
first one. She was in a league of her own.
Absolutely. And Dominic Newman, that one's gone out. He hasn't kept that in, and it's going to be Tridents
just
ball.
Going slightly over the paint there. Dominic Newman, a bit like quite a lot of people who've parked in the car park here at the Gallagher Hockey Centre today. I was quite surprised by the lack of parking ability that's gone on in the car park.
Well, maybe they need to hire an attendant.
Yeah, just white lines are not decorations. They're there for a reason.
Here's the Alpiners. So what did you have to do? Park out on the road or something?
I managed to squeeze in between 2 very badly parked cars, only
lucky.
because my car was so small.
Narrow, yeah.
Great pass, great link-up play here from Lane. And
what a pass that was. He entered across there from Ingles, and he knew it was a good one. He wasn't far away.
Yes, Josh Ward on a great, really nicely executed tomahawk pass. Quite hard to keep those on the ground, but he was only inches away from being a spectacular goal.
Well, even though Ingles got close, he at least acknowledged the pass there from Ward. And it was a beauty. Edwards on it here for the Tridents, easily the most capped international player in the Tridents lineup today, with George Muir not playing due to injury. Edwards has played 220 games for New Zealand. Here he is on the ball here. Debuted all the way back in 2007. Been around a long time now. Now Russell. Russell tackle there from Kingston. Ross takes it quickly. Russell stays forward. Good little pass to Ross, who's lost his footing. And in fact, it will be Trident's ball.
Yeah, good defence from Kingston down the left-hand touchline there. Made a good tackle to disrupt the play when Russell had the ball earlier, and then getting on top of Nick Ross there.
We saw a shift, didn't we, towards the tail of that second quarter, Lincoln, and the Tridents just eased off the frenetic kind of strategy that they were playing with earlier, just to quietly, calmly build from the back a bit more. Ulrich leaves it for Haid, Mitch Haid.
Yeah, Bryce Collins, the coach of the Tridents, mentioning there that the start of the game was pretty hectic from both teams and wanted to see a bit more control. Started to get it from his side at the end of that second quarter.
Bryden pinched it, and now Tarrant has it after Ross was involved. Good pressure high up the pitch here from the Tridents. Russell gets out of it. There's that almost pass to Ingles again, and that was a pretty decent stick there from Haid, taken quickly by Morris, and Ingles into the circle. Look out. Hugo Ingles is deadly from this situation. He lost it. Wow, you don't often see that.
He just perhaps should have pulled the trigger a tiny bit earlier. He tried to drag it across the keeper to look for a little reverse stick finish, but he maybe could have just flicked it in on his forehand. It was actually very astute play from the ball boy there to launch that attack, as the ball had drifted over the baseline, and normally it would take slower to restart, but he had a ball right down to the spot, which was very quickly taken, And the Tridents were completely caught napping.
Weren't they? Joseph Morrison, 19 years of age, having a very strong Premier League competition. It's good work from Lidstone in the area, but the Tridents have got it. And Lum flicks it forward. It's a good little ball there to Greentree. Another good young prospect coming through the New Zealand system in the North Harbour area, Connor Greentree.
It's just, again, a slight problem. You see when Greentree picked the ball up, quite a good pass down the line to him from Richmond Lum. And then he looked across the field to try and spot some support players, and there were none. And whether that's sort of a bit of a product of them being down a few players and having to put in big minutes, but they have really struggled to get guys forward and support the ball carrier, which makes it pretty tough to generate anything.
It was Guy's ball forward. Connor. He's lost it. And away comes Ward, Finn Ward that is. Back in the possession of the Alpiners. And it looks like a green card's been handed out, the first one of the game, and it's going to be Simons who's coming over to sit out the next 2 minutes.
It was a pretty robust challenge by Simons there. He did sort of get the ball, but he also then just bowled into the man with the shoulder.
Russell's pass was a gem again. It was on the money. Finn Ward. And now Morrison looks to keep it nice and urgent for the Alpiners. Bryden crashes it in. That is a good, healthy block there from Kingston, but Bryden has it again. And Morrison flicks it to himself in the circle. Good hustle from Joseph Morrison. But he's conceded a free hit. Kingston. It's Haid again. And now Lala over that far right-hand side. No goals since half-time. Sam Lane, both goals for the Alpiners. And just having a look, he's not on the field at the moment, but he's standing right below us here looking to get back on. Sam Houston, the goal scorer for the Tridents, and he got close to putting that one down right there.
There's Sam Lane in prime position to record the first
hat-trick.
Yes. In the Premier League men's hockey competition.
Well, he was
nearly got onto the end of that pass.
Yeah, from Jordan Ward.
Shown some good range in his passes, Jordan Ward, today's game. He's made that very good tomahawk pass that nearly found the stick of Ingles in the circle at the start of this quarter. Not a bad ball to Sam Lane there either.
Kingston almost has it dispossessed by Wakeling. And now Suka under pressure. Greentree missed it, but Jordan Ward's done well to find some space eventually in the middle here. Coming forward is Wakeling. Gus Wakeling near the edge of the circle. Oh, wasn't controlled, but it will still be Alpiners ball, and Ross won't muck around here. Ross still has it. He ended up having a crack. Not a bad effort there from Nick Ross.
Yeah, lovely little spin. He does that skill, executes that skill very well.
Plenty of power on it.
Had Matt Simons hot on his heels, but managed to do a good job of evading him to get the shot away. It just, unfortunately, just shanked it a little bit to the left-hand side of the goal.
Suka tries to bring it down under control, but he's been tackled off it by Wakeling. And Haid got a stick to it, but not enough to get it out. And Lane, right on the baseline. Here he comes, Sam Lane. Oh, it wasn't far away from Finn Ward's stick for another goal for the Alpiners.
It was an unfortunate touch by Massey. He would have been better off leaving it. So he actually, by half trapping it, he actually slowed it up quite nicely for the man to receive. So a little bit.
Oh, some good pressure coming in from Ross. And that's excellent pressure high up the field from the Alpiners.
Yeah, a little bit careful here, the Tridents. It's a few times they've been robbed of possession in critical areas the last few passages of play.
Feels like the Alpiners are just trying to apply a bit more pressure again all of a sudden.
They can smell a bit of blood, I think, so they're...
Oh, the Tridents have got to absorb this. Try and find a way back in here. No real opportunities for them in this third quarter to date. Of course, they haven't had a penalty corner in the game either yet, Lincoln. And now they're in possession. Suka, that's good work. Green Tree. Tridents on this left, but plenty of Alpiners defenders there, including Kane Russell. Back they come for more opportunities. Green Tree will go back to Rasmussen. Suka. Nice little move to himself there as he comes forward, but he's lost control of it. And Tarrant. Lum. Tarrant with a clever stick there. Oh, that's years of hockey experience coming to fruition. There's a great ball. Is it able to be kept in? Good effort, though, from Finn Ward to try and keep that in for his team.
Little exchange there between Blair Tarrant and Richmond Lum. They tackled each other about 3 times in a row.
But Tarrant won that little duel, didn't he?
Yeah, if you're a betting man, you'd go with Tarrant. He's hard to rob him of the ball.
Green Tree.
Picks a hole there, Green Tree.
Rasmussen out to Lala. Just happy to wind down the clock a little bit here as we're inside the last 2 minutes of quarter number 3. Hayes got his skates on. And in fact, it's Ulrich who did really well. Now, that's going to fall for Lala's stick. Fortunate there for the Tridents. Suka, who switched over to the right-hand side, and Ulrich has made a good run now. Here come the Tridents. Ulrich just can't quite keep it in.
Nice little exchange of passes,
wasn't it?
There.
Yeah, it was encouraging, wasn't it?
Ulrich appearing all the way from left half to nearly receive that ball on the right-hand baseline.
Tarrant. Bryden.
Definitely found himself in a different habitat there.
Well, all sorts of space here. But the pass couldn't find the target from Jordan Ward, and the Tridents have it again. And a fairly even quarter, this one, as we close in on three-quarter time. Newman will give away the free hit there, and he's actually going to be carded.
Yeah, not very good discipline from Dominic Newman there. He's trying to plead ignorance. If you're viewing this at home and you heard a swear word, we do apologise.
Well, it's the Alpiners down a player for the last minute of this quarter and the first minute of the next one. And that's beautifully done by Russell off Engels' pass. Good pass from Russell. Ross into the circle. Reverses it. The keeper saved it. And it's going to be cleared away by Suka. Good stop there from Bezaden Note.
Yeah, it was a good strong kick from him there. That's what it needed.
Last 10 seconds of this.
Alpiners down a man, but actually turning the screw a little bit here.
Oh, here's Russell. He's having a fantastic game. Right on the edge of the circle. Russell, just eludes him. Can't get the shot away. He was thinking, I'm going to have a crack here with 2 seconds to go, but he just couldn't get in the circle, and there is no change to the halftime score at three-quarter time. It is still the Alpiners leading 2-1.
Yeah, certainly looking a little bit like anyone's game. That quarter, really neither side taking the game by the scruff of the neck.
Well, fatigue, I wonder about that too. We touched on this earlier. This is the third game in 4 days for these players. Now the reserve tanks are going to be fully utilised in this next 15 minutes.
Yeah, you'd expect to see the Tridents perhaps suffering a little bit more because they've, had their squad a little bit decimated, and yesterday in particular they had to put in, only had about 14 fit players by the end of the game, so they were putting in some big minutes.
Well, I've got, they seem to be okay today. Just scanning through my squad list today, I think all of the players have actually got some time on the field today. So 18 players have got on there today, and I think they're all having a good run around. I think hopefully the big job will be to get George Muir back fit again for the next round in 10 days, Lincoln.
Yeah, George Muir, they'll be hoping. I'm not sure what injury issue Benji Edwards has. And Corey Bennett. They'd also quite like to see those guys out there if they can get them.
Yeah, Benji Edwards,
Casey
another one.
Henwood trying to get himself off the field unscathed as the manager.
And he's done so just. So 2-1. Don't forget, after this next 15 minutes, we'll be back at 2 o'clock for the Falcons-Mavericks clash. Look forward to that one here from Hamilton to complete the first round of matches in the men's competition, the 2020 Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League. So, it'll be interesting to see what the Tridents do here. They're down 2-1. Yesterday, they did throw caution to the wind. And a very similar scoreline. Ulrich goes forward into the circle, and it's the Tridents on attack early. Still searching for a first penalty corner, and they might have one. No, it's just nipped off the shin there of one of the Tridents players.
So the Alpiners still down a player for the next about minute of this quarter, with Dominic Newman in the bin.
Yeah, he's got 30 seconds left in there.
Pretty hard to, Tridents possession, you saw them falling right back. Very hard to press when you're down a man.
Well, for Runts
just
Ross,
trying to absorb.
Now Edwards, Trident sense perhaps their time to pounce is here. Simons goes back to Rasmussen. Now on the right goes Guy. Edwards comes across to the right. Timely little stick there from Sam Lane. And all of a sudden, Trident's under a little bit of pressure to keep the momentum going. Get a free hit. Edwards. Around a couple of players. Chance for him to cross it in, perhaps. At least go for a penalty corner, but he can't get it onto the leg of a Alpiners player.
Yeah, good skill from Edwards, but then just got himself into that dangerous position and it just fizzled out.
Well, they're back to their full complement. Now Ingles with front foot running ball and only one player in front of him, Max Rasmussen. Tarrant up there and also Newman. Newman's the cross and Tarrant just flicks it wide. Another opportunity for the Alpiners.
Oh, and it's good to see Blair Tarrant, you can see him just wandering his way back to his normal home there in the centre of the defence, but good to see him getting ahead of Hugo Ingles on a counter-attack there, pumping the knees.
Well, he doesn't score many goals. I'm looking at his stats here. 212 games for New Zealand, 4 goals in his career. So he doesn't get on the score sheet often, Blair Tarrant. But good opportunity there. There's a great pass to Ross.
Well, even 4 is a pretty high tally for a player that plays as a defender and isn't involved in penalty corners. Which does show that if he senses an opportunity, he will have a bit of a go.
Which is good to have. It's a good skill to have. Simons. He's done well there to earn a keep possession for his side. Nice touch from Edwards. Really clever.
Touch by Stephen Edwards.
Wasn't it? And there's Simons on the target. Worth having a crack there as the Tridents continue. Well, it's been a much better performance from them from probably the start of the second quarter.
Yeah.
But it will all count for nothing if the Alpiners can get a third goal. Nick Lidstone coming through here, the middle, but he's surrounded by Tridents players. Lidstone takes it quickly. Now is an opportunity for Ross into the circle. Ross, saved by the keeper again, Bezaid note. And the Tridents survive.
Yeah, the Alpiners are still sort of... Grant Edwards talked about wanting them to just try and settle things down a little bit, and they don't really appear to be doing that at the moment. They're still kind of playing a rather... taking a street ball type approach to this game and just having a crack at everything.
Free hit for the Alpiners. Russell coming off the field for a breather. Terrence. Bushell back on. He's wearing 16 and in possession. Terrence. Ross. Never too far away from the ball as Edwards almost nicks it from him. And in fact, Ross is going to be the player conceding the free hit, and Edwards gets things going quickly here for the Tridents. Kingston.
Stevie was sort of asking the question there, if that was my free hit, why was I not afforded the advantage?
Yes, it's a good question. Greentree, off guys pass. Two young players over there trying to build some momentum for the team in blue. Just under 10 to go.
So it'll be interesting to see. We got, if this game plays out a few minutes without a goal, will the Tridents again decide to pull their keeper? Yeah. Feel that they might have to try everything they can to try and get an equaliser.
Lidstone's going to leave it, is he? Or in fact, he will take it. Nick Lidstone, just 19 years old. Highly promising player from Canterbury. And now Newman. Morrison back out there now. Bushell and Terrence. Alpiners looking keen here as it crashes in. Ingles can't control it. Usually you trap those for breakfast. Not that time. It's Capizzi. Got oodles of pace, hasn't he? And now there's going to be a free hit to the Alpiners. And all of a sudden, Edwards looks like he wants to get some more aggression going. Rasmussen.
Yeah, a bit more feeling coming to this game.
Bit more chatter.
Both teams will have to try and maintain their discipline because you feel like there could be a card coming here for somebody.
Suka and Lala at the back. Nice flick-on pass. What a beauty that was. Greentree's on it. Unfortunately, though, it came off his foot. 8 to play. Sam Lane with both goals. No change to that half-time score. The Alpiners leading. Lane, he's got both goals. Elder. Dylan Thomas wide on the left. Elder, this is a good promising move, but
stretch the field really nicely, the Alpiners, like the break coming on the right hand side, and Dylan Thomas just drifting right out wide to the left, using the full width of the pitch.
Tarrant crashes it in. It still will be Alpiners' ball.
I mean, you'd be reasonably safe to bet your house when the ball goes to be a Tarrant in that kind of area that he's going to look to try and drill it into the circle. And on that occasion, the Tridents were up to the challenge. The one before, he managed to find the stick of Hugo Ingles a little bit too easily.
Alpiners enjoying a good little period here. Down the Tridents end of the field, and they'll get more possession. It's Tarrant. Restart it again. Bushell goes wide out to Ward. Oh, he's lost his footing there, Dylan Thomas. And the Tridents, good composure from them, Lincoln, although they weren't really tested in that little period.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. held pretty resolute there, the Tridents.
Capizzi is going to leave it.
If the Tridents can nick one here, it'll make for a very, very interesting finish.
Game on. Of course, that will be the Alpiners' worst nightmare, with late concessions in their 2 previous games today. Are we going to relive it all again?
I mean, surely it couldn't happen 3 times in a row.
Surely.
Surely.
Wow, it's gone right across the face of goal. It's saved by Innocent. Still there. It's gone in. And Houston has got his second. Sam Houston. Fantastic finish. And the lead up from Capizzi was quality as well, Lincoln. And now we got a game.
We've got a game on our hands. And I mean, I thought in the first instance, George Innocent did remarkably well to keep out the first. So you can see Lala takes it the 5 metres and quite a good job, and there what a fantastic save on that first one, but he couldn't keep out the follow-up from Houston. I mean, it'd be interesting if Bevan Nichols' watch actually flashed on that first shot, because it almost looked like it might have crossed the line. It was a very, very good save, the first instance from Innocent, but Houston grabs a double. So 2 goals apiece to Sam Houston and Sam Lane.
Close call there. Wakelin, it goes against him. But I tell you what, that was a nice little build up there from the Alpiners on the right. And now Ross is going to be carded.
Happy, a little bit aggressive in the tackle.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, Glenn, this is the first time in a men's Premier League hockey game that 4 goals have been scored in a match, all by someone called Sam.
Yes. But will there be another goal?
Could be.
In the game, Lincoln, and will it be scored by Sam? So the Tridents now with a numerical advantage for the next 2 minutes as well, with Nick Ross getting that green card. And the Tridents on the ball here. Wow, what a comeback this is. Lala.
I mentioned it earlier, the Tridents in every game they've played, they have got sort of stronger as the game has gone on.
That's a timely little interception there from Dylan Thomas. And Russell eluded him. Xavier Guy. Oh, just over the stick there of O'Connor. Russell tries to win it back.
I wonder whether the Alpiners will be really ruining those early opportunities they missed in the first quarter.
And there were plenty of them, particularly from the penalty corners.
I haven't seen a penalty corner in the game since the first 3 that the Alpiners had in the
first
opening
quarter.
10 minutes of the match.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? Engels still working away over there with under 4 to play. Are we heading to a shootout between these 2 teams, or will we get a winner? Brighton.
Well, if the match is drawn, I think the Mavericks and the Falcons would both welcome that result. It would kind of leave them both out on top in pretty good position.
Yes, it would, and that could happen. But the Tridents come forward. Ross still on the green card. He can't be far away from coming back. Kingston to Simons. And now Lala keeps it in the field, just delivers a beauty right to the baseline. It's Green Tree, or yes it is, it's Lum over there in fact. He's into the circle. Lum! Oh, unfortunately, he couldn't quite get the accuracy that he was looking for.
Yeah, just a little bit too high, that ball across there. You saw that earlier from the goal actually coming from Lala, flinging the ball across the circle, but with a little bit of height on it. It's often something the players will look to do because it's a bit harder to defend, but that one from Lum just a bit too high, so being real dangerous by Bevan Nicol.
Green Tree flicks it forward with Ross back on the field now, so the Alpiners back to 11. And here he is now, Nick Ross, the captain. 2:20 to go. Remember, Nick Elder coming forward here. Remember, the Alpiners have conceded goals in the final seconds of both of their 2 games to date. And that's going to fall for Ulrich. Oh, nicely gathered by Tarrant, although he was a little unlucky in the end there. In fact, it's going to be Alpiners' ball. That ball lifted.
Yeah. I feel there's less than 2 minutes to go, but you feel there's going to be a chance for one side here.
I agree. Greentree. Who will that chance fall to them? Will they take it? Or are we going to a shootout? It's off the stick of Jordan Ward. Guy. That's a great pass across the field now to O'Connor, who's great on the ball here, and it's nicked off the foot there of Ingles.
A chance here for the Tridents to load this into the circle. Just outside the 25. Can go straight in.
Well, Lala.
Oh, he's asking big questions of Connor Greentree there. And Connor Greentree could not answer those questions.
Well,
smashed at his reverse stick.
50 seconds left. Remember, the Alpiners were in a shootout yesterday with the Mavericks, which the Mavericks went on to win. And that was off. They scored a last-second goal from a penalty corner. Ingles. Will they get the last opportunity of the game here? Ingles. Oh.
Good receive by Ingles.
Here's the Alpiners, though, with the last, perhaps the last opportunity of this game. We're inside the last 30 seconds. Oh, it's a good stick there from Edwards, but it's still in the circle. Penalty corner's been awarded to the Alpiners.
Well, could it be the Alpiners' turn to score one on the buzzer? I'm not actually sure what the corner was for here. And watch it on the replay.
Well, it didn't look like a ball touched the foot. Simons looked mystified. A couple of the other Trident players looked baffled as well. What do you reckon, Lincoln?
Newman on the pitch. Will they go? I mean, given that it's a day where only Sams can score, you might go for a Sam. In fact, Kane Russell not on the pitch, so it will be Sam Lane. As good as Hugo Ingles is at drag flicking. Unless it is a little variation to Ingles. Maybe Ingles on the German.
Ross and Tarrant.
Not sure if you're allowed to call it a German these days, but
probably not. Here's Newman. He's trapped by Ross. There goes the shot from Lane. It's wide.
Well, that could be all she wrote, I think. 5 seconds on the clock.
And will the Tridents take their opportunity from the shootout? Here comes the last. The Hooters gone, and they're out of time, and it's a draw this game. We're going to a shootout, 2-2. Great comeback by the Tridents. And earlier on, of course, the Alpiners led 2-0 and were in total control of the contest, but well done to the Tridents to coming back into this game. 2 goals to Sam Houston, 2-2's the final score.
Yeah, full credit to the Tridents. They have got themselves off the donut. They'll have at least 1 competition point by the end of today, maybe 2, if they can win the shootout. So the Tridents, of course, the Alpiners, of course, yesterday losing a shootout to the Mavericks.
Yes, indeed. Well, this will be interesting. So the Alpiners have been involved in tight matches, haven't they? They conceded that last-second goal to the Falcons in round 1 to lose 2-1. And then they conceded that goal to the Mavericks. Here are the goals in this game. That was Lane's first one, and he absolutely dented the backboard. And then the second goal was brilliantly tucked away by Sam Lane, his second goal of the contest. And then Houston pinched one back here just before half-time under Innocent's legs. And then
he wasn't even trying to score there, I think. He just dribbled it in the goal.
And then this one here, the cross from Lala. And Houston ended up being Johnny on the spot after a brilliant save from Innocent off Capisi's shot. And it was Houston on the rebound picking up the dregs.
Very well followed in by Houston there. He just got himself on the right spot to collect the rebound.
Well, we've got a best of 3.
Good day out for him.
Indeed. Best of 3 shootout it is. And remember, if we're locked up at the end of the shootout, we go to sudden death. So 3 players have got to be nominated by each team. And then They'll have the opportunity to try and beat the respective keepers of both sides with 8 seconds on the clock.
Let's see if the Alpiners select the same 3 that they had yesterday. They had Tarrant, Ross and Ingalls.
Just checking out the CCL stats, and if you're actually looking at those stats there.
Yeah, certainly the Alpiners. I don't know that there were 10 penalty corners. The CCL stats button, I think, might be broken. There's only 3, I think. But, no, it looks like we've got some...
George Connell's going to take one.
Different roosters out here.
Yeah, George
Sam
Connell,
Lane.
Sam Lane. And
George Connell.
Let's have a look at, we've got O'Connor, Edwards and Capizzi are going to take the penalty corners, the shootouts for the Tridents.
I don't want to put the commentator's curse on Edwards here, but these were basically, when they thought of introducing the shootout format to hockey, they were basically thinking of Stephen Edwards. He's very, very good at them. Interesting choice for Connell to join the, not often you see wing halves involved in a shootout.
No, it was Russell yesterday, wasn't it?
It was Tarrant. Tarrant, who is also as a defender, I suppose. Right. But
so it's Sam Lane, George Connell, Hugo Ingalls for.
Yeah, well, obviously it's the Alpiners are adopting a if you miss one, you're out, because both Ross and Tarrant missed yesterday, and they have not retained their place.
No.
In the shootout team.
Well, this will get the Tridents if they can sneak this penalty shootout here.
What I'd actually like to see is that rather than it being, we've reduced it from 5 to 3, I think we should just go to 1. It should just be Steve Edwards and Hugo Ingalls, and they just keep taking them until one of them eventually misses.
Well, the
keepers, more like a Western.
Yeah, exactly. Just head to head. So it's going to be Hugo Ingalls to take on the first penalty shootout. 8 seconds on the clock. Ruan Bezuidenhout is the keeper. 25-year-old from Auckland. So here goes Ingalls with the first one. And Ingalls, that's clever. There's the first one. The Alpiners 1-0 on the board.
Yeah, I mean, he's never going to shoot that first shot, Ingalls. He's shapes to do it. Gets the keeper set on their heels. And then a fantastic
little pirouette.
We're putting the ball on the hook of the stick.
10 out of 10 from the judges there. Now Edwards up against Ennison. Oh, it's through. Is the clock going to run out? Edwards. Oh, he's got it in. Brilliantly done. That's composure. 10 out of 10 from Steve Edwards.
How he found the goal there. Like he was in all. I thought he was in all sorts of trouble, but managed to score.
Well, the hooter must have just about been ready to sound as well.
Connell showing great skill here before he sets up.
Here's Connell.
Can he apply that skill on the shootout?
So 1-1. And Bezuidenhout. And
interesting umpiring decision
what's been ruled Connell here against Connell?
Well, he's ruled that Connell's protected the ball with his stick, but I was half expecting the whistle to go the other way there, and Connell's trying to
argue the point.
Doing some charades, and Hugo Ingalls is also joining in here.
The umpire's having none of it. So it's a fail, and now we can get the Tridents taking control of this penalty shootout, but unfortunately it's no good for Kieran O'Connor's Ennison.
Yeah, good
stops that one.
By Ennison there. Used his stick very well. The old broomstick out. You can see him. And Kieran O'Connor just getting too close to Ennison.
So it's 1-1, 1 attempt left each. And now it's Sam Lane up against Bezuidenhout. Sam Lane. Yeah, power off the reverse. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, that was interesting by Bezuidenhout there. He really came out at Lane, and he just got himself too far forward and found himself stranded a bit like a beached whale.
And now it's Capizzi who's got to get this in to send the shootout to sudden death. Robbie Capizzi, he's round Ennison superbly. That's very well done. So it's 2-2, and we're going to sudden death now.
Good skill by Capizzi. sort of the same manoeuvre that Ingles did a little bit earlier, just putting it in the hook and easy as you like.
So it's the same 3 players, but now it's Edwards up against Ennison. These two would have played quite a few games together for the Black Sticks, Vantage Black Sticks. So Edwards against Ennison. He's saved, and he's done it again. Brilliant reactions there from Steve Edwards. Ennison will be frustrated, Lincoln. He almost saved both of them off him.
Yeah, he will be. He's sort of done the hard work there, Ennison, but then, you know, it's just Steve Edwards to a T. Never says die.
Now Ingles has got to score this to prolong the shootout for the Alpiners. Oh, how good is he? How good is he? That's just class from Hugo Ingles. What a great shootout this is.
Too good. Too good. So we'll go to Capizzi, who performed a pretty good shootout himself.
Great stick work from Ingles.
Just such fast hands. Just.
So Capizzi again now with his second attempt. Oh, he's back-footed, and he didn't get the timing that he was looking for.
Surely the back of the stick. It is surely back of the stick. I mean, they're going to have a chat about this. There's no TV reveal. Bevan Nicol has alerted Ixon to the fact that it was the back of the stick of Robbie Capizzi.
And so that's
it. I don't think he'll have too many complaints about that. It was ball looped into the air. Oh, no, we're still going. What's going on here?
So has it been awarded, that one?
It must have been awarded. It has been awarded.
It has been awarded.
Okay, I've said surely the back of the stick, but maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Here comes Sam Lane again. Lane. Oh, yes. Brilliantly done by Bezaden Note. He looked beaten for all money there. And suddenly he found the ball on his stick from Sam Lane. I reckon he's beaten all for money there. But how did he get that back?
Just a great recovery.
Now O'Connor, he can win it here for the Tridents. And he's done it. The Tridents have got the shootout. Or are we still going?
I'm confused.
We are still going. Well...
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. I'm suddenly not that confused.
So what are we saying now? What are we saying?
This is to tie it. This is to tie it from George Connell.
Okay, so Connell's got to get this one. But they note again, can he do the business here? He's almost there. The time's almost up. And there is the time. It's done. And it's the Tridents who win the shootout. Wow, what a shootout that is. And the Alpiners lose a shootout for the second straight day.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Well, poor old Alpiners. It's 3 occasions now they've managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, and they find themselves languishing at the bottom of the table.
And I've got to say, well done to Dan, our director today. He's passed his mathematics test with flying colours. 4-3 is correct. Because we were failing our maths test today big time. So well done to the Northern Tridents, who somehow fashioned an extra point out of that contest and came back into it beautifully. We'll have some aftermatch reaction for you very shortly. Stay with us here on Sky Sport Next.
A new home is one of life's great adventures. Sentinel will help you enjoy the journey. Sentinel Homes. Design, build, enjoy.
Introducing the new Ford Escape ST Line X. Packed with the latest features so you can get moving, do more and go further. Now available with the Ford Assured Future Value Finance offer. Simply pick your payment plan and at the end of the term, choose if you want to keep your Ford Escape, return your Ford Escape or upgrade to a new Ford. Easy. Ford. Bring on tomorrow.
Well, here we are in Hamilton. Just had another exciting finish to a men's match here in the 2020 Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League. Let's get some after-match reaction now, and let's go down to Lincoln Churchill.
Well, Steve Edwards, 2 points on the board. How sweet does that taste?
It's pretty good, eh? I've had a pretty tough weekend with injuries and some guys, obviously getting injured during the time and a couple of pullouts. So yeah, it was good game.
Yeah, and I mean, your shootouts obviously providing the key to getting a couple of points there. Yourself netting both of them. They didn't quite go to plan, but all worked out in the end.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of 1-2s with the keeper, but yeah, good to. I'm pretty happy to get them in and get that get those points, first points of the weekend. So it's good for us.
Yeah. Well, all the best for next weekend. And now joining me is Nick Ross. Well, Nick, another day, another one that sort of slipped away.
Yeah, it's been our story of the weekend, really. A lot of what-ifs and kind of the weekend of what could have been. So, yeah, pretty disappointing to only come out with another point.
Yeah, you feel like you've played some pretty good hockey, I mean, especially patches of that first quarter today, and there was some really good stuff going on. So you'll still be pretty confident that you can work your way into that final with next or fortnight away's games?
Yeah, 100%. We're happy with how we're playing, particularly how we're starting games. I think we are starting well, putting pressure on teams, but we're falling away on that third quarter and letting teams back in it. So make sure we can keep the hammer down and run through next weekend.
Yeah, well, have a well-deserved rest, and we'll look forward to catching up with you in a couple of weeks.
Cheers.
There we are, Nick Ross. So with that result, the Tridents go to 2 competition points. The Alpiners go to 2 as well. But we have our next match, which this will decide who will finish the end of round 1 at the top of the table. It's the unbeaten Falcons against the unbeaten Mavericks. Falcons have 2 wins from 2. The Mavericks a draw and a win from their 2 games. That one's starting soon here on Sky Sport Next in precisely 17 minutes. And we hope you can join us then.
The Sentinel Homes Premier Hockey League is proudly brought to you by Hockey New Zealand in association with Sentinel Homes, Vantage Windows and Doors, Computer Concepts Limited, Sky Sport, your home for hockey, and Sport New Zealand.